We meet the grieving mum determined to turn the tide on fatal stabbings.
This is Crimewatch Live.
In recent years, knife crime has been a major concern, particularly in towns and cities across the UK. But after a young man was killed in Birmingham, his mother decided to take action to help improve people's chances of surviving a stab wound. Lynne Baird is a mum, but also a campaigner. In the early hours of the 8th of July 2017, a visit from the police changed her life forever.
I heard a car door outside and it was a police woman getting out of a car. She came to the door and she said, "Are you Dan Baird's mum?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Can you get up to the hospital as soon as possible?"
Lynne's son, Daniel, had been on a night out in Birmingham when he was stabbed in his chest, close to his heart. He suffered catastrophic bleeding and died on his way to hospital. He was just 26 years old.
I just couldn't understand how such a healthy young man was just gone like that in the space of a few minutes.
But for Lynne, one of the cruelest blows was discovering that Dan's injuries weren't necessarily fatal.
My other son was with me, Tom, he's a doctor. He said, if someone had been there that would have known what to do, he could have packed the wound and put pressure on it. That would have given Dan vital minutes before an ambulance could have been called.
Lynne's son also told her that there were no publicly accessible first aid kits that were currently equipped to deal with the kind of catastrophic bleed Daniel had suffered.
It's just devastating to think that for the lack of knowledge and a basic piece of equipment, lives are lost. I thought, we've got to get something done. So I started asking if anyone had bleed control kits. Nobody knew what I was talking about. Eventually, after badgering loads of different firms, I found one that actually put a bleed control kit together for me.
The equipment that is carried in the bleed kit is exactly the same things as we carry on the air ambulance, but the earlier this can be deployed and actually put onto a patient, the better chance of the patient surviving the injury.
Each kit contains tools essential to stop catastrophic bleeding. A tourniquet.
Put the tourniquet above the wound, closer to the patient's body, so that it works effectively. Put it on as tight as you can until the bleeding stops.
Gauze to pack deep wounds.
You just keep pushing it in as deep as you can into the wound until you can't fit any more in. And then what you can do is apply a pressure bandage over the top.
And finally, a special dressing designed specifically to treat puncture wounds. A chest seal.
If somebody's been stabbed in the chest, this basically covers that hole and creates a one-way valve, which hopefully will mean that the patient can still breathe. And you would apply it directly over the hole so you can see the wound underneath the plastic window.
Just like Lynne, we would love to see bleed control kits be as prevalent in the communities as a defibrillator, and we would like to see people understand how to deal with a stabbing.
Lynne's determination is paying off. The bleed kits are being rolled out in her local area and also in the City of London, with plans to spread them across the UK.
Members of the public who need to access them in emergency will call 999, speak to the ambulance service operator, where they'll give a specific code to access this cabinet. The ambulance service will stay on the phone with you, guide you through the use of the kit, and inside we have instructional leaflets that will help you use it when you're delivering aid.
You just never know when something is going to happen. A catastrophic bleed can occur at any time. It could be the result of a road accident outside. It could be someone even falling over on a piece of glass. If these kits are there, they can buy vital minutes before the ambulance arrives and save lives. And that, to me, is a legacy for Dan.